Hi guys, it's Kristine, better known as Butterfly Girl, coming to you from San Diego, but not from Butterfly Van. This morning I'm coming to you from my car, because I went to Burger King and got some coffee, and I'm usually a Starbucks girl, but sometimes I just don't feel like going to Starbucks, and Burger King cuts it, so I didn't feel like going very far, and Burger King's just right there. So, and I'm just having an issue this morning where I bought a cooler for the van and it's too big, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with it because it's just, I don't feel like, well, I mean, I can get it in the van. It's just going to take up more space than I actually wanted this to use because I don't need a cooler that big. I'd have to carry like 2-3 bags of freaking ice just to put in it. I mean, it's just too big. Even if I was going to go for a weekend somewhere, I wouldn't need a cooler that big. And I'm kind of, I'm not really, I'm more of like on the go kind of person where, I don't really cook. I don't cook at home, except for like throwing things in the microwave. Occasionally, maybe once a week I'll make a soup or something like that, or, a home cooked meal once, twice a week, if that. And it's always simple. It's always like a one skillet, one pot meal. So, I don't really need refrigeration all that much. More of a dry goods kind of person. So I guess I can just store dry goods and stuff in it, and if going away for the weekend or a day or overnight or whatever, I would probably take more dry goods and stuff with me to eat, than anything. And I suppose I would use it, but I don't need it to be that big. So I don't know what to do. I guess I'm going to put it in the van and just keep it there and use it, as storage, I suppose, to put things inside of. I can do that. I wanted to, and I'm not even sure I'm going to upload this video. I think I got more space over my head than I really need. But I had said that if I vlog, I'm only going to vlog on days where, things are good and I'm feeling positive and happy and upbeat and all that. And only present the good side of my life or life in general. But then I felt like that wouldn't be keeping it real. Excuse the sunglasses. I just, I don't sleep well, and I'm up and down all night. So the light sometimes hurts my eyes. So anyway, so I thought, it's not going to be keeping it real if I only vlog when there's butterflies and sunshine, so to speak. No, so I decided I'm going to just put it out there, and I'm going to vlog whether I'm feeling good or whether I'm feeling bad or whatever's going on and what's on my mind, I'm going to express it. And that'll be being true to myself. And, I gotta be me. I gotta be true to myself. And, so, I don't always feel good, and I don't always feel positive, and things aren't always roses and sunshine and butterflies in my life. I struggle a lot. I struggle a lot with so many things, both physically and mentally. And, so today's one of those days. The energy is low, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling the vibe today. And I was up, watching YouTube videos last night on the homeless community. And there's this guy, he goes around and he makes videos of homeless people, and does interviews with them. And I was a big advocator and helper, in the homeless society when I lived in Boulder, Colorado, because, okay, back in Florida, 1990, I'm trying to think, it wasn't 1990. It was 2009. I lost everything. And I know how easily that can happen. And I lost everything. I lost my job. I lost my apartment. I lost my car. It all goes, one thing after another. It's like a snowball. And I ended up in a tent in the woods in Florida camping. And I had sold my car, so I sold my car and bought all camping gear. I bought a tent. I bought a cook stove. I didn't have a cooler. I bought a little propane cook stove. I bought a blow up mattress. I bought pretty much anything you can think of to make your life easier if you're camping and living in a tent. My tent was pretty nice. It's true what they say, you adapt to your surroundings when you have no choice, because it became home to me. And I was comfortable there. I actually became comfortable, and it just becomes, your safe place. And so it was almost like I made it into a bedroom. So just like I've done with Butterfly Van, I've decorated her and I put everything into her that she pretty much needs to camp, to be it's just pretty much a tent on wheels. So I lived like that for about a year, and you would not have known that I was homeless though. And I wasn't doing it by choice. Well, people used to say, go to a shelter, this, that, or whatever. I didn't want to. I like my privacy. I'm kind of a loner, and, I don't do well around a lot of people, a lot of chaos, a lot of noise. So, I had the park where they would feed people, the community feed, like every day, lunch and dinner, they would feed people. And no matter what your status was, you could be rich and still go there and get a free meal. And they were good meals. And the community would get together and cook these meals for the homeless or whoever needed it. Low income, people would bring their kids. And, it's expensive to feed a family of 5 and feed your kids and all that. So for lunch, it was really busy, and people would go, and young mothers would bring their children. And it was a good place to, meet people and talk to people and commune. But, and they also had how grocery stores, their stuff gets overdated. Even if it's a day or just about to, expire or become overdated, they have to throw the stuff away. So, they'd have a full table full of all kinds of goodies, that were expiring or just getting ready just on the day. It was still good stuff. And so I would go along, and I would, they would let you, take 10 items each or whatever, one of each thing that they had. So I'd end up back in my tent with so much stuff, to eat. Mostly I didn't have any refrigeration, so I just took, dry goods and snacks and things like that, or something that I was going to eat, pretty quickly. So I survived that way, as far as food wise. And then I had a membership to the rec center, which gave me access to the library, the pool, the gymnasium, the showers, the exercise room. So I was all set there. And, this was back about 10 years ago. So I wasn't disabled then. And, it was a hard life. Even, in the best of times, your best health, it was a hard life. And, even then I had things, my needs met, and it was still a hard life. So anyway, so when I moved to Boulder, Colorado, things improved and I got out of the situation, thankfully, after a year. And I know some people don't, but I was able to pull myself out of it and found a way out. Moved to Boulder, and there was a big homeless community in Boulder. I wasn't even sure what this vlog was going to be about today, but I guess it's going to be about the homelessness. It's still van life, because people living in vans, if you're doing it willingly, that's fine, but there's people that are forced into this lifestyle. And, it's the same, a van, a tent, whatever, you're still homeless. If you don't have a physical address, pretty much, I think you're homeless. You know what I mean? Oh, another thing I did was I had a P.O. box, and I also had a storage bin. So I was pretty lucky, you know, because I had a storage bin and I kept a storage facility where I rented, you know, a storage thing. It was a small one, and I was able to keep some of my most precious possessions I didn't lose. So I had that. I had my P.O. box, so I was able to get mail, and that was my address. It was UPS store, and you can get, you know, P.O. box for the year, pretty cheap. So I had that, and you know, I had pretty much my needs met, and no one would know that I was homeless. I was able to wash my clothes once a week. I went to the laundromat, and at the rec center, I took 2-3 showers a damn day. And this was Florida, and it was pretty hot. And I went through this through the summer, and it was really, really hot. The nights were so miserable. And I had the little battery-operated fans, you know, that would run and circulate the air. But it was Florida, and the humidity was just unbelievable. And I lived out there with poisonous snakes, poisonous spiders, mosquitoes that would just descend on you. I mean, so a lot of the stuff, you know, that I've learned about camping, I already kind of knew what I would need, you know, for the van. When I lived in Boulder, trying to backtrack a little, I volunteered and helped out with the homeless community there. I was the one, you know, helping with the cooking and the, you know, doing the feeds and all that for people there. And I would give money to people. I would see what the needs were, pass out socks or, you know, toiletries, whatever people were needing, I would buy myself, and I would end up sharing it and distributing it to people. And I tried to help out, you know, as much as I could, because I knew what it was like. You know, I knew that it's hard to pull yourself out of that, and it's hard to get help. And so I tried to help as much as I could, help others. When I was in that situation, though, I didn't ask for help. I wasn't putting myself out there. I wasn't on social media. We didn't have that. I mean, we did, but I just didn't know about it or whatever. And I didn't ask for help. I just dealt with what I had, because I felt like I had things pretty much together, you know, better than most people that were in that community of homelessness. A lot of people didn't have, you know, memberships to the rec center, and they didn't have P.O. box, and they didn't have a storage unit and all that. So I felt like I was lucky in those circumstances to have what I had. And I had bought a bike too. So when I sold my car, I bought a bike, and I bought everything I needed to camp and all that. So I got lucky there. I did miss my car though. But as you can see, years and years down the road, I managed to have another car, and I also have a butterfly van. So even here, you know, we have a big homeless population here, and I try to help out where I can, but I'm disabled now, and it is unbelievably hard for me to do anything. But, you know, just knowing and seeing that the homeless population is so huge makes me really sad. Just driving yesterday, I saw a guy holding a sign at a stoplight saying, "So broke it hurts." And I remember what that was like. You know, when you go through something and experience it for yourself, you know what that is like. You can empathize with it. So I gave him a few bucks, what I had, you know, quickly. I got in my wallet before the light changed, and I try to do that if I see people, you know, needing that. And I don't know what he's going to use the money for. Drugs, cigarettes, alcohol, whatever. That's not on me. That's his decision. I did what I could. So, but I just wanted to say in closing that there really isn't much to say other than I wish that there was more help for homeless people. And even here in San Diego, people are not able, like back in the day, you could buy a van and park in it any way you freaking wanted. Walmart parking lots were welcoming. You could park on the streets, you could park anywhere, and, you know, no one hassled you. Nowadays, they're ticketing people. They're actually, in San Diego, arresting people if they're parked where they shouldn't be parked overnight because they need a place to stop. Everybody needs a place to stop and freaking sleep, right? What else are you supposed to do? If you're in a vehicle and that's all you have, that's your home, you have nowhere to go other than that vehicle. Everything you own is in it. You gotta stop. You gotta sleep, for the night. And people are being arrested for this. They used to just tell you to move on or whatever. Then they started ticketing. Now they're arresting people. And that really disturbed me when I saw that last night too. I didn't sleep well at all because of it. Luckily, where I was camped in the woods, it was illegal in Florida what I was doing. I probably would have been arrested if I had been caught. Luckily, I was never hassled. No one ever bothered me, except the raccoons and the mice and the rats and the spiders and the snakes. But, those were welcome compared to the humans that would have wanted to do you harm or move you on or disturb your life. Anyway, I bought my van, Butterfly. If you guys have seen my other videos, you've seen Butterfly. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. I guess I bought her with, in the back of my mind, what if everything goes to shit and I end up homeless again? That's been a fear of mine ever since I was homeless. Ever since that happened to me, I know how easily you can freaking lose everything and end up with nothing again. And people don't realize that, People go through their lives, live their lives, get up, go to work, live in their homes, pay their bills or whatever, and you don't realize that you're pretty much one step away from being where I was, because you can lose it all. If you feel you have security, it's an illusion. Security in this life, and I know this is negative, guys, but it is a freaking illusion. Everybody is one step away from a tent or a van or under a bridge or whatever. You really are. And once you get down into that situation, it's really hard to get back out. That's just the way it is. So I bought the van because I want to be a part of van life. Yes, I want to be a van lifer. I want to camp. I want to go to the national park center. I want to travel if I can a little bit. I want to go to the beach and just be a beach bum in Butterfly van with my dog. And that's what I want to do. But it's always in the back of my mind, I'm one step away from living in her again. And it wouldn't be by choice, because I don't think, with my disabilities and all that I would be able to do that, full time, live in my van, travel around the country and all that. That's a dream, yes, but I don't think it's going to happen, so the best I can hope for is to just get some enjoyment, here in California, go to the national parks and, weekends, that kind of thing. Weekend warrior type thing. But I'm to the point, I always try to keep it stocked and put everything in it that I'd need to survive if it came to it. And I don't honestly know, with the way I'm disabled, if I would even be able to survive it, living like that again. So I'm very disturbed, I guess, mentally today because of the homelessness situation. Because I experienced it and I see it all around me and I feel it, and I know how easy it is to get there. I know how hard it is to get yourself out, and wanting to do more for people than I'm actually able to do at this point. I want to help the homeless community like I did in Boulder, but I'm not able to. I just not really able to. I'm not even able to go and volunteer my time because I can't sit up for too long. I have to be reclined or laying down because of my disc issue. Sitting up puts a lot of pressure on it, and I'm just in so much pain, my back and my legs. So I feel helpless, like I can't do anything for anyone. I feel useless, and I feel fear. I try not to live in fear, but I suffer from anxiety really bad. And I fear. I live in fear. If I don't control that fear, it builds and builds and builds, and I feel like I am terrified of what could be around the next corner. I don't know. And And I didn't want the van to be about that. You know, I didn't want Butterfly Van to be about, am I going to end up homeless and having to live in her? I don't want it to be about that. I want it to be about fun, you know? So anyway, take what you want out of this video. If you even took the time to watch it, I hope you did. If you did, please leave me feedback, subscribe, and hit the bell. And what else can I say? Other than that, I think I just don't know what to think about people being arrested just because they have nowhere to live and they're living in their car, their van, their RVs, and they're being arrested. And there's no safe place to park anymore, you know, for people that are homeless and living in their vans and RVs or vehicles or whatever. And I wish there was something. They did make a couple of parking lots. Well, they are using a few parking lots in downtown San Diego, somewhere, not downtown, but I don't know exactly where, but somewhere around San Diego. They've designated a couple of parking lots for vehicles to park in overnight or kind of indefinitely until they can get back on their feet or whatever. But it's not enough. I mean, it's just not enough. And if you can't even sleep in your van overnight somewhere without worrying about being arrested and all of your shit, you know, your van being towed and all that, what the hell is the point? You know what I mean? Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you on my next video. Have a great weekend.